I'm just in conversation now with Sir Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group. And I want to let all my followers know that actually I invited Sir Richard Branson to the opening of the Farnborough International Travel and Aviation Clinic many years ago at Jenner House Surgery. And in fact, Sir Richard Branson was out of the country at that time, and he wrote me a lovely letter saying he couldn't make it, but the best of luck with the opening of the clinic. And actually, it was Sir Gerald Harth that opened the clinic at that time, and it was really a very, very good initiative of mine too, because of course I've a huge interest in aviation. I've co-authored a book on aviation, and also I have a huge interest in travel vaccinations and general or anything to do with aviation I really love. So I was just posting some information to kind of update Sir Richard Branson on my campaign. And I noticed when I got back to the post that one of my posts had been removed. So I'm just telling Sir Richard Branson that I kind of got a little bit upset about that, because I posted the important human rights post to his website on LinkedIn, and it was removed by one of his first connections. I am not a first connection of Richard. I'm not a connection of yours, but I am a doctor and a very committed follower of yours. And I would never, ever put one message above the other, or, for example, put an interested follower of mine above a first connection. You see, on LinkedIn, one way or another, we're all here for the same reason, Richard, to progress our goals. But I did photograph the entry that I made to your website. And there it is there. The one at the bottom is about the English singer, songwriter and guitarist James Bay, who's helping me hugely in my human rights campaign. And his work, fantastic music, resonates with the leading surgeons and physicians in the world. So we're very lucky that we have him, on the campaign. Of course, it's his generosity towards all his followers on the internet. He is just such a kind and very creative young man, and I'm very, very fond of him. So I just wanted to make sure that, Richard, you knew that about James Bay, because he is a kind of friend of mine through the internet and through music. And the second thing I wanted to ask you, Sir Richard, was, as you know, you have a huge interest in human rights, and you provide financial aid to areas of the world that are in crisis. And we know, from this evening that there's a hurricane in Florida now, and you've been providing great advice to people for preventative action to get into a safe place and to avoid injury. And I totally agree with you, and I mentioned that on your website. But as you know, Twitter has blocked me from posting any, suspended me, in fact, from posting any updates of my human rights campaign, which is chronic pain campaign. I wondered what your advice was about this, because I did some research, and Twitter isn't really making any money in comparison to LinkedIn and Facebook. Apparently, millionaires much prefer Facebook and LinkedIn, and Twitter gets only about 20% of the footfall, which I was very surprised at. So should we worry about Twitter? Is it worth doing? That is advice we would like from you, if you could perhaps advise us at some point, Sir Richard. Anyway, have a great evening. Thank you very much for your advice to your followers in America about the impending hurricane, and I'll catch up with you in conversation very soon indeed. Sir Richard Branson, it's good night from Dr. Maria Harriet Stack in London.